It's obviously a huge game. Let me throw this at you, T. Get us started here. We know the magnitude in terms of the NFC West with the Cardinals, who seemingly are ascending, and Seattle, who seemingly is either flatlining or probably more specifically regressing at this point. Before we get into the team stuff, and there's some injuries for both teams, more so for Seattle that we can certainly get into, but if I asked you right now, Kyler Murray's ceiling, whatever that might be in your mind, Kyler Murray's ceiling, is it absolutely higher than Russell Wilson?
No, I can't say that, because Russell Wilson, while he's not the dynamic runner, he is a very effective runner himself and uses his legs to punish you if you're going to play, deep zones or play man coverage and you don't get home. It's different than what Kyler Murray does because he's a runner. He's a slash running back as well, and so you have an advantage, right? Because you got to defend an extra player. Usually when you have a quarterback who's not going to be a part of the run game, you don't have to defend against the quarterback. So when you know it's a run, or you're in your tendencies tell you it's a run, you scheme to stop the run. Now you got to scheme to stop the quarterback. It's why Lamar Jackson's been so successful. So I think it's two different. Actually, their skill sets, even though they have the same deep ball ability and accuracy as a thrower, they're too dissimilar to compare ceilings.
Dissimilar?
Yeah, I mean
dissimilar?
Yeah, because
really?
Think about. You're not going to ask Russell Wilson to do a zone read. Read the defensive end, and if he crashes, keep the ball and make a guy miss on the perimeter or try to run through him. You're just not going to ask Russell Wilson to do that.
I agree with that.
Kyler Murray, that's what he does.
But he also throws. But he doesn't.
I'm not even talking about the throwing side.
Okay.
Because the throwing side, I think they're equal in a sense. You know what I mean? Even though Russell throws one of the most pretty deep balls I've ever seen. Although that deep ball that Kyler threw last weekend was
the baseball.
It wasn't like it was it wasn't a dime and a guy caught him in stride wide open. It was a jump ball that DeAndre Hopkins with his enormous hands.
Wait. You even told me that it wasn't a Hail Mary. You're the one who told us that it was more designed. No. So give the guy credit.
Yes.
It was a great throw.
Yes. So, but do you remember when we had Kyler on?
Of course.
Do you remember what he said? Because I asked him that wasn't a Hail Mary because they had
the first question you asked.
They had a post. They had a crosser, a curl. Like it wasn't like you look at the play from the all 22.
Yeah.
When I was on the Giants and we'd go, all right, dude, this Hail Mary, it's whatever, 76 all go. I think that's what it was called, right? Everybody runs a go route, and everybody gets to the end zone. One guy posts up in front. One guy is the jumper. That's where you hope the ball lands. And then one guy posts up behind, right? And so it's, all right, like either the jumper catches it or someone tries to knock it down, it gets tipped forward or backwards. That's a traditional Hail Mary throw. It's all goes. It's four guys going down the field. What the Arizona Cardinals ran, and I think what they were trying to do, and when you listen to Cliff Kingsbury, it sounds like this is what they were trying to do, was actually pick up like 15 to 20 yards and get out of bounds, right? Now, the post and the curl, they had no chance. And so what Kyler Murray said to us, you remember the play that Aaron Rodgers threw to the tight end against the Dallas Cowboys? It was a rope right down the sideline. The tight end caught it. I forget who the tight end was, but he caught it and he got out of bounds, and they ended up winning the game on a field goal, right? That was the play that they called, that the Arizona Cardinals called. What happened was that when Kyler Murray got flushed out of the pocket, DeAndre Hopkins, because his football IQ is on a ridiculously high level, said, forget this. This play isn't working because he can't throw it to me in this angle. Like if he's on the sideline, he can't throw me a sideline throw. You know what I mean? Right? If he's in the middle of the field or a little bit on the hash, he can throw me a sideline throw. If he's on the sideline himself, he can't throw me a sideline throw. So DeAndre Hopkins flipped and ran to the end zone. And that's when Kyler Murray noticed it and then said, all right, I got to get my body squared, as he did because he's a baseball player.
Gotcha.
And he threw this like perfectly arced right, 2 yards into the end zone. If it was a yard short, they're screwed. If it's a yard, 3 or 4 yards too deep, they're probably screwed as well because there was a defender back there. It was perfectly thrown, and DeAndre Hopkins jumped those guys. And so I forgot how I got on that tangent, but like they both have that ability. what differentiates Kyler Murray, and this is why he's so interesting to me, but maybe not to some, and especially when you talk about longevity, is that they actually ask him to say, put the ball into the belly of the running back. If the DN crashes, you turn into a running back. Go run. You know what I mean? Go figure it out. And he does that. Yes, he scored those 2 touchdowns. They were zone reads.
Yeah.
And so I love that until it doesn't work. All right, until he gets hurt, until he is, what's his name? RG3 happens to him. But he doesn't take hits. So,
First of all,
so maybe it lasts for a long time. I
hope it does, because we'll be blessed to watch somebody special. RG3 didn't have the throwing talent that
nor was he smart enough.
Wilson has.
Nor was he smart enough not to take hits.
True.
Russell Wilson, RG3 wanted to be like a power, like, dude, you weigh 195 pounds, man.
Remember that Adidas commercial?
Yeah.
How they rushed him back?
Yeah.
They rushed him back.
Like, stop, man. Football's a physical sport. Running backs are built like at 220. You know what I mean? You're 190.
Yep. Well, the number from last week, I remember saying it on the show, that, was it 72? That Kyler Murray's been contacted 72 times less than Lamar Jackson this year. So there's an inherent skill to avoid contact.
That was a great stat, by the way.
Great. It paints a very interesting picture. Lamar's getting popped and Kyler's not. Now,
and Kyler has 120 or 30 more yards than Lamar, too, by the way.
What is he, 8th in the NFL in rushing at this point, right?
604 yards, yeah.
Now, if you watch the Cardinals, you know that he very rarely, gets a direct shot, if at all. So you kind of knew that, but when you actually hear and when if you watch the Ravens, you know that Lamar gets hit a little bit more.
Yeah.
But when you actually hear the number, and it was 72, I had it written down, just 72 times contacted, 72 times less than Lamar. That's a skill akin to throwing a good deep ball, having good anticipatory sets,
That's right.
the vision, the acumen, the things that you can sometimes quantify and sometimes not. You just know that Kyler Murray is more adept at avoiding hits, and not that he has more wiggle, which he might, because he's lower to ground, that it's a little different there, as you pointed out.
Yep.
But he just, I think that he sees 2 or 3 yards ahead of Lamar. Like, Lamar is so trusting of his athleticism.
Yeah,
and I
he's
can
playing
see why.
backyard football, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it feels like.
Yep. And when you do that, you
get caught.
Don't think you're ever going to get caught until you do.
Yeah.
Now
I don't mean caught like get caught from behind.
You mean caught, get popped, and get punished.
I mean caught like I spun and here's somebody on my chin.
Correct. Whereas I think Kyler is just, again, more adept at, all right, so here's the defender in front of me, but 3 feet off at my peripheral vision, I kind of see this guy coming, and if I spin that direction, he might blast me from behind. I think that he computes that, which is freakish.
Yeah.
To think that you can actually do that and avoid multiple fast and big NFL defenders and process not only what's in front of you, but what is within a certain radius. Kyler Murray's special, and Lamar Jackson's special. But I started this conversation by asking you, do you think that the talent between Kyler and Russell is like, where? How would you rate the talent? I think Kyler Murray's more talented. I think let me just tell you why. I think Kyler Murray, now I know it's a different NFL. So when Russell Wilson came in, what was the knock on Russell Wilson? Well, the defense was carrying him. He didn't have to do a whole lot. A good running attack, blah, blah, blah.
Turn around, hand it off, just don't make mistakes.
It's the exact opposite with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, it's a good
They
point.
got to score 37, 40 points to win.
Yeah, Russell Wilson wasn't even close to being Rookie of the Year.
He wasn't close to it. And I just think that I think that Kyler Murray is going to sound weird. Is a little more natural, a little bit more of a natural. He's more of a natural playmaker.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to say he's more of a natural thrower yet, because obviously Russell played baseball too.
Yeah,
but I think that Kyler is a little more talented than Russell Wilson.
Well, here's the thing: we can never compare them, because Russell Wilson will never be asked to do those things. Now, however, in college, Russell Wilson was a lot like this as a runner. His senior year, because I looked this up before. I remember I had this conversation. Someone was trying to compare De'Aaron King to Russell Wilson, and it sounded absurd. Yeah, but it actually was more. It was closer to reality than people wanted to give. Kurt Herbstreit said it, and people were like, "Oh, that's ridiculous. He's nowhere near Russell Wilson. But in college, they were. Right? Russell Wilson had 6 rushing touchdowns at Wisconsin in his last year. And over his career, in 4 years, this is both at North Carolina State and at Wisconsin, he rushed for 1,400 yards and had 23 rushing touchdowns. You know what I mean? So this is not a kid who didn't run, but he also threw for 3,000 yards every season and had 33 touchdowns his last year at Wisconsin. So he's
in a non-wide open system.
That's right.
Did they have an NFL receiver on the team? I'm trying to remember. Did they have an NFL receiver?
So this was 2011. Wisconsin. So Monty Ball was the running back. We all remember
Monty
him.
Ball for sure. Of course.
Receiver.
I don't think they had. I know they didn't have a first-round receiver.
No.
Lee Evans was way before that.
No.
Before. I don't think they had.
The leading receiver was Nick Toon.
Al Toon's son.
Yeah, he was drafted in the 4th round.
Al Toon's son.
Yeah, drafted in the 4th round by the New Orleans Saints. But I don't remember his NFL career.
Gotcha.
So basically,
I don't think it was
no.
much to remember.
So no. So the answer is no.
Mm-hmm. Even more impressive is my point.
So Russell he has the ability to do that, but he's so far past being a young athletic quarterback that you're never going to see that. You're going to see him run when he's like he feels like an elder statesman, even though he's not old. You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean. I feel that too now a little bit with him.
Right? And
a little bit.
We're not going to get a chance to see Russell Wilson be that guy in the NFL. And so that's why I say it's hard for me to compare, because Russell's not asked to do those things, whereas Kyler Murray, it absolutely is, and he probably will for the next 3 or 4 years. Now, maybe when he's 28 years old or 29 years old, are they going to keep saying, "Hey, hey Kyler, keep running these zone reads and take shots downfield"? The answer is no, and hopefully he continues to evolve as a passer. Not that he needs to do it too much more, because he is already a really good passer.
He is. He's a passer.
I think that Russ doesn't have the tool and the play calls that Kyler does, so it's hard for me to compare them. But if that's the case, then I think Kyler has better skills right now than Russell Wilson does, because he has the ability to do more.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and this would solve nothing, but it's an interesting way to look at it. If you took Kyler Murray and put him on Seattle and asked Kyler Murray to do what they asked Russell Wilson to do,
could he do it?
There's a good chance he'd be able to do it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
If you put Russell Wilson on Arizona and ask him to do exactly what Kyler Murray does, it's a different skill set, and the answer is probably 80% of what Kyler Murray can do in terms of the read option and the other stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
And now it doesn't mean, listen, the durability is one thing, the steady leadership, and we had Kyler on the other day. He is an easy leader. He doesn't seem like there's not a lot of volatility to his game. He doesn't have these woeful, and this is a great characteristic for a young quarterback, doesn't have, these high points followed by these low points like, even somebody like Josh Allen does on occasion, even though Josh has had a really good season.
Yep.
But there's a steadiness and there's a quiet confidence, much like Russell.
Yeah.
Listen, they're both.
Even though Russell's getting
stars.
a little bit cocky right now.
Well, he is. That's why I'm rooting for Arizona tonight.
Yeah, it's kind of. I like Russell a lot, but he's got to tone that down, man. We said this before, but I just don't like hearing that from. I like hearing it from a wide receiver, maybe a linebacker,
a boxer,
boxer, someone whose job it is to talk. But from quarterbacks, Philip Rivers does, but he didn't even do that in the media.
We never heard it.
No, he did it on the field, but he didn't do it in the media.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear Russell Wilson saying, "I'm great, I'm going to be awesome, I'm great." Because I can't even hear him saying that on the field.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified when we drop fresh content.